Episode 102 on deck for the daily Bespoke Edge. Today we are doing a video here on a question that we just got, which is a very, very common question, and that is how to choose a necktie. And the question that came through from actually a present client of Bespoke Edge this morning was in reference to the suit that he had purchased from us and is currently being manufactured. How does he go about picking the right necktie? And we've done this topic before. This was actually episode 45, and I think this video is kind of a nice little update on that episode. But it's a really recurring question, and I thought let's just do one more and kind of bring it up to the surface again. Because this is a big one. I think, in menswear, a lot of what we see is a lot of sharp angles. We see a lot of proportion, a lot of geometry, and a lot of complementary angles showing up here and there. And a great example of just that is the angle between the necktie and the jacket lapel. And consequently, you really want to have the width, the widest part of your lapel, pretty darn close to the widest part of your necktie. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I think it needs to be relatively close if you want to kind of maintain that overall look and proportion. So, as a couple examples, and before I get into it, this jacket is a couple years old. This lapel I still think is a relatively modern lapel width for me. Overall though, lapels are slowly but surely getting a little bit wider in the menswear world. So if you want to kind of go wider, now is your opportunity. But this jacket is still a pretty good starting point, I think, for this discussion. So if I were to overlay my purple tie here, what do you think? Pretty darn close, right? This is about spot on, so that tie would certainly work. Now, another one, this stripe tie, how do we look? It's a little bit wider. When we get to the widest point here, we're maybe a quarter inch over. So honestly, I would still wear this tie. I don't think, and again, this is my opinion, when it's a quarter of an inch, I don't think it's a real big deal. I'm still going to wear it. If it gets to be more of like a half-inch discrepancy between the width of your tie and your jacket lapel, it's going to start showing up more. And again, each case is unique. It may not be a big deal to you, and that's perfectly fine. But as traditional menswear goes, angles like that start to get kind of skewed when you have a relatively larger necktie than your lapel. You'll start kind of seeing that. And some people may not be able to really know why things kind of seem off or why the tie just seems big or the lapel seems small, but it's all because of that angle and how the two relate to one another. So give that some thought. Let me know what you guys think. Is this something that you've, with your own ties, are you buying ties specifically for your jacket lapel, or is this kind of new? I'm sort of interested to hear from you guys if this is if it's something that many of you know about. And it's kind of subtle. It really is a subtle thing of menswear. And the last thing I'd say is that most neckties are going to be, I think, we're like this one, where it's about 3 inches, maybe a little over 3 inches in width. Anything larger than that, certainly a 3.5 inch wide necktie, is today considered relatively wide. And I think, again, personally, anything below, call it like 2.25 or so, is starting to get kind of on the slim side, which is still very much a thing, still very much in style. But knowing that there is kind of, a little bit of a polarization here between necktie widths can help you when you go out shopping, and hopefully to help you save some money and look sharp when you get all dressed up. All right, thank you so much for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll be back with episode 103. Thanks, guys.